What I managed to do here is using these two red tori to kind of block the frame and also frame the gray tori in the middle, so to simplify the scene. And I waited someone to walk here on the little walking path, and I think it worked quite well. I guess you will see the results right now. So this video is going to be a bit of a mixed bag. I managed to go out pretty consistently over the past 10 days or so, but I focused mainly on taking pictures, so I didn't focus on bringing all the setup with me with my GoPro and all that, but still I managed to capture a few clips where I explain my thought process for a few of the pictures you will see. And then in the second part I will talk about an analogy between photography and shaving. I know this may sound quite funny, but you will see it will all make sense, or at least I found it did. But yeah, for now, let's go back to the pictures. Here we have another simple scene, but since the foreground here with this road is pretty bright, if someone walks towards us or towards the other direction and we manage to capture them while they are still in the middle of this section, they can be surrounded by white and pretty bright areas, so it would create a nice subject separation. So yeah, I'll just wait for someone to walk in. Here the subject I want to photograph is obviously the atomic bomb dome, and here what I like is that we have the trees that kind of cut a little bit of the negative space. In some photos negative space is actually something you want, but here I like how it circles around and it directs the viewer attention to the main subject of the frame. And also I like that there is some people here that adds a little bit of a human presence to the shot. So yeah, I'll grab the shot and we'll see how it works. So what I like here is this little walking path that is going left and right like this. And I wish I had a longer lens. I'm on a 35 today, but what you can do is waiting for a subject to walk at the end, like just here. And I think with the leading lines not being straight, it adds a little bit of a playful element to the photo. Like the eye of the viewer has to go left, right to finally find a subject. And still, these are leading lines, so it is quite easy to read, I think. So now there's plenty of people walking here, so definitely it's not the good timing, but I'll wait a little bit and try to have one unique subject here at the end of the walking path. And I will probably put my 35mm into crop mode to have more like a 50mm equivalent. And yeah, let's see if it works. So here again we have a very simple street scene, but what triggered me is this fire hydrant pole, and behind it we have a very green tree, and that's a perfect color combination between green and red. These are two complementary colors, so this is nothing crazy, but you have one little interesting pattern within the composition. And then I mean, the light is pretty decent. I can wait for someone to walk on the zebra crossing or anything that would complement the frame a little bit. But yeah, when you're on the street, look for complementary colors, this kind of regular color or composition patterns, and you will always find something interesting. So I tried to walk the scene a little bit more, and what I found is that I can use this pole to add a foreground element to this composition. But what was interesting is that here we have some red and some green again. So it adds another layer of these two complementary colors, and then it was just a question of waiting for someone to walk or to drive or cycle around here. And yeah, I think it was an even better photo. So here we have a beautiful scene. I like the attraction in the background, and we are still very early in the morning. I'm lucky with the light. It was supposed to be great today, but we have the light, and it creates some nice little light patterns on the road. And I like also the fact that there is this vending machine. So the scene on the right doesn't really look like typical scene we would see in Japan, but the vending machine is a good reminder that yes, we are still in Japan. So I found that scene very, very interesting. So I just got closer to the this amusement park, and I like this other composition, still very dynamic. We have some shadows, some light coming here at an angle, and what I'm waiting for is a bird to fly around here in the sky to fill a little bit this negative space. Unfortunately, I don't really know how to communicate with birds and ask them to fly there, so I will wait a few minutes to see if I can get what I want. One advice when you compose your shots is trying to not having some elements of your frame overlapping each other. There will be some stuff on the side, very little things. That's unfortunate, but you can't help that. But typically here, the palm tree, that other palm tree, and that attraction are kind of the three pillars of this composition. And clearly here we have a nice balance. But if I were to move more here, you see that the palm tree now is overlapping the attraction, and we lose completely the balance. Not to mention that now that other tree is completely on the right side, but that's also because I'm using the super wide angle here on my iPhone to record that. But that's like you can always play with your composition wherever you are, to practice this kind of skill, like finding what are the main elements that compose a shot, and trying ways to make everything overlapping, or more so not overlapping each other, and being harmonious in the whole frame.
So lately I've been rocking this mustache, and the question is not whether you like it or not. No, it's just that the other day I was shaving, cleaning the side, and I realized that in some aspects shaving and photography are quite similar, especially in the habit forming process. So if you have a beard or you're just not regularly clean shave, the first time you will try to shave your beard with a proper razor, you will feel a lot of friction. It will be hurting, it will be difficult to cut the hair, you will have some bleeding spots, and overall it will not feel very pleasant, I guess. But the good news is it's not always like that. The first time you will feel the most amount of friction, and when your hair is really hard and quite long, so it's difficult to cut. But if you try to shave again the next day or 2 days later, let's say, it will be much easier and a lot smoother. The hair is so short that the razor can really clean shave everything without a lot of friction. And photography in some aspect can be just like that. If you pick up your camera after a long time, or if it's your first time ever doing photography, you will have to buy a camera, charge batteries, think about what to shoot, choose what lens to shoot with. You don't remember or you don't know exactly what to bring with you as accessories and little stuff you have to take with you on a photography day. And once you're finally out shooting, it's not impossible that you will still enjoy the process, but you will do it maybe with a low amount of confidence. But if you do it again not too late after that, you may still have some battery. Maybe you started to develop a sense of what you like to shoot and what lens you like to use. Maybe you will already feel a bit more confident than the previous time. You will maybe know what clothes to wear for this type of weather and what shoes to put on to be able to walk for a lot of kilometers, and also what kind of accessory you will need in your camera bag. So what we observe is that already from this second time doing photography, you will experience less friction, and this transition between you being at home doing nothing and being out doing photography will be easier to do. So now I think we agree on the fact that the more you do it, the less friction you feel. So we are okay on that. So let's get back to shaving. And now you started to develop the habit of doing it. And with that, you will also increase your skill. You will know how much pressure you need to apply to have a better and smoother experience. You will also maybe understand where you should start first and going in what direction, up or down. So by developing the habit, you will also increase your skill. And with that, you will even reduce further the amount of friction you feel. And you start to be in this positive virtuous circle. And for photography, it's the same. You have more skills, you have a better vision, you have a better understanding of what you like to shoot and how you should shoot it. You also develop a better understanding of the tools you are using. Your camera becomes almost like the extension of your arm. You know where to go and what to shoot to have some results, and that can motivate you even further to keep shooting even more. But again, photography is just like shaving. When you move away from the habit of doing it, you may still have some skills because you don't forget them that quickly, but the first time you will get back to it, you will feel the friction, you will feel the resistance. And I think we can even play a little bit more with this analogy and talk about gear. If you shave very regularly and don't let your hair grow that long, you can still have a very pleasant and a smooth experience while using an average razor, I think. And in the opposite situation where shaving is not a habit, you will feel a lot of friction, and even if you decide to buy the most expensive razor available on the market, it may reduce ever so slightly the pain you will feel, but you will still end up with bleeding spots and overall have a not pleasant experience, I think. So if you have to choose between two options to maximize the overall experience, how pleasant it is and how much good result you can obtain, you should 100% go for the average razor but shaving regularly, over like having the most fancy expensive razor but shaving only once a week. And same goes for photography. It's better to have a more average camera that you know how to use and that you take out regularly than having, I don't know, the most expensive Sony A7R5 or the new A9 III that will be released, and just using it only once a month. So I know that the conclusion of this whole metaphor is nothing really new. If you develop the habit of shooting, you will shoot more and you're more likely to take good photos. You will enter in a positive cycle that will motivate you to shoot even more and for a longer period of time. I just thought that this analogy with shaving was a good visual and physical representation of how resistance, friction and habit developing really works. Thanks a lot for watching, and just before closing this video I wanted to tell you that I released my first photography zine. It is a digital small zine focusing on Miyajima, this sacred beautiful island located next to Hiroshima. So the zine is a collection of my 90 favorite pictures I took over the year 2022 and 2023. So if you're interested, go check that out on my website, and yeah, let's catch up in the next one. Bye!